All right. A barrage of rocket attacks between Israelis and Palestinians in Gaza overnight appear to be pushing that region closer to, who knows, hopefully not all-out war, but so far it's been a battle through the air, and it could turn into a ground campaign before long. NBC's Ayman Mohyeldin has made it into the Gaza Strip. He joins me now. And Ayman, this all started with a decision by the Israeli government not to just respond to what had been a slew of attacks by Hamas over the border, but they went after a specific Hamas leader. Tell us more.
Well, Chuck, that really depends on who you ask. There's no doubt from the Israeli narrative, they felt that a number of rocket attacks coming from Gaza into southern Israel, that prompted their response. But when you ask the Palestinians here, it's actually been a continuous attack by the Israeli Air Force on parts of the Gaza Strip, and that ultimately led to the frustration. Over the past week, we've seen several Palestinian civilians that have been killed, and today we've seen from the Israeli side 3 people have been killed in Palestinian rocket fire on the southern part of Israel. Now, I'm just going to tell you where we are really quickly to give you a bit of context. We're standing at the very utmost or farthest point on the Gaza Strip between the crossing between Israel and Gaza. On our way in here, we saw about 36 international aid workers from the UN, from Oxfam, from elsewhere that were evacuating Gaza. It is an ominous sign, not just for the international workers that are able to leave, but the 1.5 million Palestinians that are still here, and you can probably hear that thumping sound as well. But for them, they are unable to leave, and so there is a great fear and anxiety and tension that the coming days are only going to have more violence between the two sides. Over the past 48 hours, there have been a barrage of Palestinian rocket fire into southern Israel, but also, as we've noticed, there have been several Israeli airstrikes on various targets inside here in the northern part of the Strip and all across. Chuck.
And Ayman, it's worth bringing up the fact that this is the biggest conflict between the two sides, between Israel and the Palestinians, since Egypt's leadership has changed, and we know that Egypt has a different reaction to this than they under President Morsi than they've had in the past under former President Mubarak.
Absolutely, on a few different fronts. One, the leadership here, Hamas, is very closely aligned with the Muslim Brotherhood leadership that runs Egypt, and President Morsi comes from that offshoot. There's more important development is that Egypt now, for the past several days, has been trying to mediate between the Palestinian factions and Israel. They reached a truce, but that truce did not hold for very long. More importantly, Egypt now is trying to assume a bit of a leadership role in the region. Yesterday, they convened or lobbied to convene the UN Security Council meeting. They're also convening an emergency meeting of the Arab League in Cairo to try and put an end to this barrage of gunfire. For its part, though, some within the Muslim Brotherhood and the Freedom and Justice Party in Egypt are calling on Egypt to sever ties with Israel. Now, that would be a major setback for the United States because the Israeli-Egyptian peace treaty has been a cornerstone of U.S. foreign policy in the region. Chuck.
All right, Ayman Mohyeldin in the Gaza Strip already for us. Ayman, we'll be checking back in with you all day, I imagine. Thanks very much. All right, moving back to domestic side of